Good morning, hello and welcome to the Magnusson Strongman Classic. We come to you from fairly cold temperatures, but regardless is absolutely delightful here in Iceland. We call it the Magnusson Strongman Classic. I'm joined by Magnusson himself. How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm excited to get this competition going. We are at this beautiful called Nauthólsvík Geothermal beach here, and we got 3 events today, and we're going to start with a bag over a wall.
A simple bag overall. It sounds very simple. It's very difficult to do in practice. 9 events over 3 days. We have 3 events today and we kick off with the bag over the wall. That's not the official name, it's the bag throw. But they start at 18 kilos and then go up from there.
Start at 18 kilos, go up in 2 kilo increments until the heaviest one is 28 kilos. The height that they have to throw over is 4 meters, 43 centimeters.
And this is the proper strongman classic. We have athletes from Great Britain, Canada, New Zealand, Iceland, Finland, Ireland, all over the place. There's a real sense of camaraderie here, though. The guys, as much as they'll be competing, there's a unity here.
Oh, definitely. You know, unfortunately, we've been a little unlucky with people having to drop out due to injuries. We have replacements coming in, even like last-minute replacement. It's going to be fun and interesting to see how these guys do.
That's what, for me, what makes this so interesting, is it's very, very difficult to predict. You are putting these guys, this is a tough competition. If you're watching at home and thinking, I like strongman, you're really putting them through their paces.
Well, it's not just, you know, there are heavier shows, weight-wise, but this is a tough show. You're battling with elements, all sorts of things. And I like to test all aspects of strength.
But what you're also doing is most strongman shows, they're kind to the athlete. So you might test grip once, then test legs. But today, you might see behind us, we've actually got the stone to shoulder and then the stone medley. And that's not Atlas stone medley, that's, would you like to explain?
It's all nature stones. So we got, past 2 years, we've done a stone press for maximum weight. Now we're gonna stone press medley, so you got 4 stones to press. Fastest time wins. And then we move on to stone to shoulder medley. And this is all natural stones. Again, it's different.
So these are not calibrated, they're not balanced. You have to find a way to make it work. What kind of athlete does that lend itself to?
Well, in the end of the day, the strongest and the best athlete is gonna win.
Simple as that. Now, just also, you might be able to hear in the background that sort of sound of running water. That's because we have a geothermal pool, as Maggie explained just a second ago. We have a bath just behind the camera, which after the 3 events, the athletes, and dare I say some of the spectators, myself included, will be going in. It's a really, really unique setting we've got here. Behind the camera, we've got the bags that are looking like they are ready to go. The athletes are pretty ready to go. The first athlete will be Matthew Riddle from Spain. I didn't mention Spain, by the way. And as soon as he's ready to go, then we'll get this thing underway. So we're just about 2 or 3 minutes from getting it started. In terms of this event here...
This is actually a head-to-head event, so we
got yes.
2 athletes going.
Yes, in fact, it's Paolo Cordiaca, the reigning Europe's strongest man as well. And it's old versus young, 41 versus 28.
Well, Paolo is one of the best athletes in the strength world. He doesn't have many weaknesses, but this show will test everything, even your weaknesses.
And you were explaining, in fact, just behind his hair, because I'm just going to keep you in the loop. We've got a man in his trunks who I think is going to be entering the cold water. We're not sure if he's going into the warm water or the cold water. He's walked past the bath, which means you might, oh no, we're not even sure what he's going to do. But people have been going in the cold water and then taking a dip in the bath. It is an incredible place. But in terms of this, in the athlete meeting, what I thought was very interesting, you are hot on all the rules. You are hot on any of the tricks. These athletes will not be able to pull the wool over your eyes.
Well, most of the tricks I invented. So I pretty much know all the tricks. So I know what to look for and know what to ask them not to do.
And just a quick word for the people behind the scenes as well. Obviously, you've been very important in setting this up, but there have been so many people that have brought this together.
Oh, there's a lot of people to help pull this through. My partner, Tony Vandenberg, and the film crew and all that, doing an amazing job for providing this live stream. all my helpers that have worked for now a couple of days getting things ready, getting the stones in right shape, getting things, moving things around, and it's a lot of work, and many hands make it easier.
Well said. And on your hat there we can see Rogue. We currently come to you on the Rogue YouTube channel. As well as that, it's also available on Magnus.com as well. So many people are essentially hoping to make this bigger and better every single year. It started fairly humbly and already is a competition people are excited about.
Well, that's the interesting thing. People seem to really like the rawness. This is going back to old traditional strongman. Is not everything here is polished and nice. It's rough, naturey like things, and that's what I grew up. That's how I started, and I just like to keep shows like that still going.
It's really raw. It's not a one-day event. We love the one-day events that you perhaps see in the UK with Giants Live. 6 events in one day, in a warm environment, in a controlled environment. This isn't that. They have to manage the travel, starting again, the temperatures as well, the fact that women will walk past the camera in swimming caps and flippers. Pause that for that thought, as you're going to see. I mean, the spectacle here is up there. I mean, you would not see this in a normal strongman event, Maggie.
No, you wouldn't. But I've been thinking about this since I started to come here with some events, and this year I'm making it happen.
Yeah, you really are, and it is very, very exciting. And it's also, we're going to be seeing all of Iceland. It's not in one location. We're not just here for the 3 days.
No, tomorrow we'll go up to Húsafell, and that's just a must in the Magnus Classic to have a Húsafell stone carry. Interesting thing, last year the record had stood for about, walking around the sheep's pen with the stone, had stood about 15 years or something, and it was broken last year. There was actually 4 people that worked further than the old record. But the record holder now is Viljus Jukutsis, and it's going to be interesting to see him and Pablo Kordiaka, which is really good at an event like that, to battle it out.
Lithuania's finest, Julius. In terms of Iceland itself, though, could we talk about the history here? What does strongman mean to Iceland? Because there are so many people who've done phenomenally well over the years here, obviously yourself included.
Well, I think in the old days, it was tough. It was tough to settle here. It was tough living, and it created tough people. And I think a lot of that is in our genes, and I grew up working on farms, working in fish factories, working with my hands and body, and I think actually that helps. I remember as a young boy, I went to this farm to stay the summer, to work over the summer, and I came back after the summer with muscles. Okay. So, I think that makes a foundation.
In terms of managing temperatures, are there keys to managing the cold as well? Because where we are is a bit sheltered here where the camera is. Over there it's a bit more exposed. Do you do any hand preparation? Do you do anything to kind of prep your skin?
Well, the athletes, of course, have to warm up. They're going to have to stretch. Now, the weather, it plays a fact. You're not expecting possibly top weights or something like that. It makes you maybe a little bit stiffer and things like that. But if you do your preparations right, you shouldn't be having a problem, and you shouldn't get injured.
Talking about tricks from before, you said you invented most of them. A new thing people talk about now is tacky. In the event we've got later on, there is no tacky allowed. So this is raw strength.
Absolutely, there's no tacky allowed, especially it's in sand. So if you use tacky on the stones, the sand is going to get stuck in the tacky everywhere, and it's just going to
Mag, I'll just pause you. Excuse me, sir. Could we ask you? We're just doing a live stream. We'd love to know how cold it. Okay, he doesn't want to say, which is fine. I was going to ask him how cold is the water. I think he's going to say it's pretty cold. It looks cold, Maggie.
It does. Tell you the truth, I've never gone into the sea. I don't like going into the really cold water.
Will it happen today?
No.
I'll do it for us, and I'll let you know how cold it is, because it really is very, very cold. And just to set the scene, behind us here we've got a mixture of guys. Some guys are staying inside, some are going outside, a number have jackets, but something tells me a certain athlete who's come a long way will not be wearing a jacket. He might even be going topless.
Well, if you're talking about Rongo Kane, there's something seriously wrong with that man. Last year he came here, he pretty much, and I think it was colder actually than it is today, and he was shirtless. And I just can't understand it, because where he lives is warm.
Really warm.
It's really warm. So I'm like, I just asked him, is this just air conditioned to you, or what's going on?
And to that point, 40 degrees is, by the way, the temperature he's currently been working in on the gold mines. He works, you mentioned working on the farm, he works in a physical job, but he, crucially, is the reigning champion. And when you speak to him, he's excited to win it again.
Oh, definitely. He's here to defend his title. But we got a lot of guys that want to take it away from him. So we got Shane Flowers. We got Pavlo Kordiaka. We got some of these Iceland guys. So anything can happen.
We've got guys who are perhaps maybe 6'1". We've got some guys who are 6'10". With the bag throw, will height help in this?
Oh, definitely. We got two giants here. So this should definitely be a good event for them.
We are looking forward to finding out how they're going to be faring. Like Maggie said before, it will be head to head in this one. We're going to try and find out how long until the athletes get themselves out and get themselves underway, because it's all about preparation when it comes to this. 3 events, once it starts, it will happen very, very quickly. Maggie, with yourself, if you were going to warm up for an event, do you cool down afterwards and then warm up again? How do you manage it? Because, like I say, 3 events today, and they will come thick and fast.
Oh, definitely. But no, I would warm up. I would stretch. Then just before I would touch it, the implement, lift it a little bit, make sure I got the full movement. Everything is working right, and then be ready.
And something you've spoken before about in the past that possibly separated you from the rest is how intelligent you were when you trained, how intelligent you were when you competed. When you have a natural stone, is it something you can learn? Because each stone's different, so how do you make that adjustment?
Well, actually, each stone is different. Each stone is another new challenge. So when you're doing your preparation, you're warming up, you're having a feel for it, you gotta know, and you got 4 stones to do. You gotta know before you could do any of them, before you attack any of them, where you wanna grab it, how you're gonna lift it. You gotta visualize it before. Where are your handles, stuff like that. And if you manage to do that, instead of being fumbling around with it, you'll do good.
So does that mean actually being slightly slow but accurate is better than being quick and maybe making a few mistakes?
Sometimes it is. If you stumble with it, if you fail, you drop it, or you're gonna have to pick it up again. So you better make every lift count.
And with this again, if you do fail a lift, it will be the fastest to the previous stone. So actually, doing a couple of stones well is possibly better than trying to race through and making big errors.
Well, every lift is timed as well. So whoever does 4 stones in the fastest times wins. Then you separate whoever does the 3 fastest, the 2 fastest, or even if they just get 1.
If I were to put you on the spot, any predictions for who, not necessarily who will win overall, but who will do well after the 9 events? Because 9 events for me really does expose a strongman. If you have any weaknesses, it will show up there.
Well, like I said, this is a different kind of a show.
Yes.
And I can't really predict how that's going to go, but anybody that's done this show before has an advantage.
Well, it looks like we can actually get the action underway. The athletes are ready, so are we. So let's get our very first 2 out, which will be Matthew Riddle and Pavlo Kordiaka. Now waiting in the wings is Par O'Dwyer from Ireland. Par O'Dwyer, for me, could be a potential dark horse with this one. Par is somebody who's come here and he means business. So we have Matthew Riddle. He's properly up for this one, possibly the best beard in strongman.
He calls himself Tenerife Viking.
Exactly that, so he had to come. So he's based in Tenerife now. He isn't used to this cold. And we have Pavlo Kordiaka, who, I mean, the guy looks like a model, Maggie.
Hold on a minute.
And Maggie's making sure that it's all lined up and all ready and ready to go. I was just saying that Pavlo, he's a picture of health, fitness and attractiveness.
Handsome Pavlo.
Yeah. As Auntie Liz likes to call him. Here we go. Both men all smiles right now. They won't be in just a few seconds' time. Pavlo looking very, very casual, it has to be said. He looks confident. And for Matthew Riddle, this is how he's going to end the season here. So he wants a really good performance. They're waiting for the referees to give the signal. And Pavlo's just establishing how this is going to work out. And they're off. 18 kilograms first. Both successful first time.
20 kilos.
Now this is very...
Pavlo's looking good there.
Pavlo, no mistake so far. Has to go over the rail.
Yeah.
Final one.
28 kilos. And it's over.
Straight over. First time. One motion. Let's make sure Matt finishes off as well. Now, energy saps very quickly with this, Maggie.
Oh, if you're struggling with this, it will suck your energy pretty fast. And they got 60 seconds. So...
he does have time. He's 41 years old, and he's had a long, hard season. He's calling it there.
Yeah. So he'll get credited for 4 bags. But Pavlo made that look easy.
He did, and he didn't rush. We said before with the stones, possibly not rushing is a good thing. He didn't rush there. He was very considered in what he did, which speaks to why he's Europe's strongest man, which speaks to why he's one of the best strongmen in the world.
Absolutely.
Also, Maggie, he's fairly light for a man as strong as he is. A little bit like a young Icelander was about 30 years ago.
Pretty much. Actually, at World's Strongest Man, the heaviest I ever was at World's Strongest Man was 128 kilos.
Is that right?
Yeah.
102. Some men are now 70 kilos heavier than that now.
Oh, yeah. You got some monsters today.
And we're just getting the results in here. So officially, Pavlo managed all 6 bags in a shade over 17 seconds, 17.05 seconds. And then crucially, Matt Riddle, 17.4 seconds, but he managed only 4 bags. So we'll find out how quick that will be in respect to all the other athletes, especially in this next one, which is the Battle of the Icelandics. It's Sigfús and Theodore. How do we think these two are going to get on today, Maggie?
Well, Theodore has the height.
Yes.
And he is pretty good with the throwing the bags. I've seen him throw before. Sigfús I've seen him struggle with it. Sometimes he's been doing really well. So it's going to be interesting. But is Theodore going to be as fast as Pavlo? That's a question.
His actual height in terms of where his reach is, he can almost reach the bottom of the rail. He is an enormous human being. Now Sigfús, as many of you will know, is a bit of a strongman legend, has competed in Champions League, has competed all around the world at the Arnold Classic, but crucially does carry a fairly long-standing injury to his shoulders. He has had operations on both of his shoulders. Hopefully that won't affect him too much when it comes to the full extension.
There we go.
But we're off. It's the Battle of Icelandics, Battle of the Physiques. Theodore first off the mark and hardly getting close to the wall. Thrown from afar. This is somewhat of a masterclass by Theodore.
He's making it look good.
He's making it look easy. He's making it look good. He's hardly moving. One more to make the perfection. Oh, look at that. Would you look at that?
Now, question is, was he faster than Pavlo?
I'm going to put it out there. That was about 15 and a half seconds. That was so quick. Now Sigfús looking a little bit frustrated. Probably gives up about 10 inches in height by comparison to Theodore. Oh! That, if that stays, will be enough. Now, oh no! No, Maggie, I have to say, I thought the rule was it had to go on the rail, but apparently it has to go over.
It counted. He was not supposed to throw it back.
Okay, so afterwards we'll have a referee's review and appeal on that one. He's so close. Great sportsman from Sigfus there. But going back to Theodore, that was absolutely magnificent. What an unbelievable performance. I cannot wait to find out what time that was. He said to you in the meeting yesterday, Maggie, he said, do we have to move with the weight to the wall before we throw it? And you said, if you're strong enough, he was strong enough.
Oh, definitely. He's got all the length as well, so he can generate a lot of speed. And that's what you need for this. As if you have a long reach, you can get that long leverage, and you can throw far and high.
And with his basketball background, what that gives you is fitness. You get the sense that he will not tire very quickly at all.
Oh, definitely. He looked really good on that. And it's going to be, we're waiting for the times, but it's going to be interesting. I actually think you're right. I think he did beat Pablo on that.
It was so fast. Now, up next, just out of interest, we mentioned the Battle of the Icelandics, the local boys. We will see an Australian coming from halfway around the world. Now, the results are just in, and I called it as 15 seconds. I was wrong. Theodore did it in 17.71 seconds, which puts him about 0.7 of a second slower than Ukraine's Pavlo Kordiaka. It was impressive nonetheless. And Sigfus, on the other hand, 3 bags in 32.5 seconds. So in a ranking so far, we have leading the pack Pavlo Kordiaka in first place, and then we have Theodore close behind him in second place. It's time for this third pair to go head to head. It's Sean versus Villiers. Now, he's come a long way, Sean has, all the way from Australia. Now, this is also very quick. A much lighter body weight. We've seen, so that's the first mistake. He's cursing himself on that one. Could it be slow and steady wins the race? Both men have made a mistake. Can they recover? And can they complete all 6? Oh, Maggie, it's such a mentally difficult thing to overcome when you're fatigued and you've made that mistake. Oh, he's managed it. Can he get the final one over? What an effort this would be.
He was struggling on that 26 kilos. But every throw you did with that 26 takes energy.
It's amazing. Strength stays, but power can go so quickly. They're trying to get oxygen in their lungs. Probably one last decent effort in them. And he looks like he's going to call it quits there. Both men are. So that's the first one we've seen. Neither men managing all 6. It's amazing how close you can get. No matter what height you have these in strongmen, that always becomes the boundary and the barrier to overcome. Possibly harder when you're slightly lighter though, Maggie.
Well, I was choosing the weights for this. I was debating, should I have it heaviest from 30 kilos? But I decided to have 28, which I think proved to be pretty right.
Yeah, you've done it very well there. And you get the sense that even that extra 2 kilo jump, that alone would have just been too much for a number of the men. And we're just going to ensure that you're fully updated with everything that happens as it happens. So we have 13.36 seconds, that's from Sean, and he managed 4 bags, 5 bags from Villiers, and he managed that in 32.5 seconds. So no change to the top 2. It's all about Theodore and it's all about Pavlo. And we're seeing again a disparity in height here, as it's Iceland versus Finland, Mika Toro and Christian Nielsen. This one will be very interesting. How will the tall man fare, do we think, this time, Maggie?
Well, Christian has a little disadvantage here. He's not tall, but he's doing all right.
Now,
oh, look at Mika.
There's so much power. That's the highest we've seen anyone throw these bags over. This is sort of akin to Brian Shaw and Hafthor Bjornsson in Worlds a few years ago. Look at this. Can he get it? How quick is that? So he's absolutely delighted with that one, and rightfully so. Can we complete the set here? Again, a man giving up about 10 inches in height. Oh, he's so close.
I just threw it under that rail there.
He's got the power.
Oh, he definitely has. And he can do it. It's just timing it right.
Can Christian? Oh, no, that really was unbelievably close.
Oh, that was tough.
It's cruel, this. It's cruel. There's so much support for him. Oh, my goodness gracious. He will be slightly disappointed there. A brilliant effort But the big question now, Maggie, can Mika encroach on second and first? Because that again looked so fast.
It looked fast. I don't think he got it, but we've been wrong before.
Yeah, I was wrong. You're very kind. I was wrong. With the last bag, crucially, he did take a bit of a pause to set himself before he went. Pavlo was just metronomic. It was set, go, set, go. So impressive with these guys. But again, what we've seen from this so far, they all want it.
Oh, definitely. You know, this is a good test of strength. It's a good test of explosive power.
Okay, we have the results in. It was a little bit slow, as you mentioned, Maggie. 21.97 seconds from the big man from Finland, meaning that the top three is Ukraine, Iceland and Finland, and then Christian Nielsen, who'll be a little bit disappointed, so close, not managing to get the fourth bag, but he managed 3 bags in 14.59 seconds. And up next, we mentioned the man will be topless, Maggie. Rongo Keane never disappoints. He's come out, he means business. It is Tristan Hoth versus Rongo Keane. 2 men, similar heights, similar statues. This could be fascinating.
There we go. I think Rongo just wants to show off his tattoos.
Oh my goodness, he's looking strong.
Oh, he's looking good on that.
Oh, he's looking determined. He hasn't even looked to see if they're going over. He knows. Now this is extremely fast so far. Can he? Oh, that could haunt him. Oh my goodness, he will be disappointed here. Take your time, Rongo. Oh no.
Oh, Tristan just made it.
This could prove crucial. Now, can he get the 5th one? He wants it more than anyone. He is disappointed, you can see that. There was so much power.
Frustrated there.
Those first few were cleared with daylight, and all of a sudden, just not enough, but sportsmanship all the way through to the end of these guys. The good news for him, 9 events. There's a long way to go.
Well, that's the thing. You know, you can afford to possibly make a mistakes, but that means, you know, you gotta rely on the others to make a mistake, a little mistake as well. But 9 events, anything can happen. It's not the end of the world, you know.
It really isn't, and we've seen one of the swimmers just walk past the camera. They just to prove to you that they are going from the cold water to the warm water. I suppose Rongo, he is the defending champion, but actually we're starting on an event that you wouldn't expect him to do particularly well in, given his height.
Well, you know, he's not the tallest man here.
Now we do have the results in. Rongo managing 4 bags. So those 4 bags he managed in 11.35 seconds. Were he to have carried that on, he really would have put the top 2 in danger. But the man from Canada, Tristan Hoth, a couple of mistakes, but finishing all 6. Very impressive determination in 28.28 seconds. So as things stand, it is still Ukraine number 1, Finland number 3 and Iceland number 2, and it's off. Great Britain versus Ireland. Shane Flowers, Paro Dwyer, both men looking incredibly fast at this one. Shane Flowers, I'm going to chuck it out there, possibly the quickest we've seen so far. My goodness, Shane Flowers. Now that there, he's possibly just put the cat amongst the proverbial pigeons, but we won't speak about him until we've spoken about Paro Dwyer, whose man possibly...
So close to getting that last bag.
And can he get, if he manages all 6, he really puts himself in amongst this one. One of the dark horses for me to actually end on the podium after the 9 events.
Ooh. He was pretty fast with the 5, so that might help.
That might help, he's calling it there. But Shane Flowers, I'll put it out there, I don't mind looking like an idiot. It happens most days. I'm going to say that was the fastest we've seen.
I think so. I agree with you now. I think so, but I'm excited to see the times. But let's say 15.
Yeah, I'll go 15 and a half. That I felt. The amazing thing about him as well, I was speaking to him about having a young child. He is a 6-month-old. He said, my sleep hasn't been... This is the best he's slept for 6 months, he said, because he doesn't have his baby crying at the moment. So he's somebody who's being a father and being a strong man as well, and maybe that's inspiring him to come out here and to perform well.
Oh, definitely. You know, he's been a little unlucky, you know, with injuries, in the past, but he's coming back, and I think he's coming back stronger than ever.
And yesterday, I mentioned the briefing meeting before, he asked you a few technical questions, and I thought, ooh, that's a man who's focused on marginal gains. He wants this.
Oh, definitely. Well, I think all of them want it. You know, this is a great show to win. This is a great show to test your strength and pretty much, you know, your condition.
Possibly the first time he's had more than a one-day show. Now, as we look at the results, we have, was Shane Flowers faster than Pavlo Kordiaka? Pavlo Kordiaka was 17.05 seconds for all 6 bags. Shane Flowers managed all 6 bags, but was it quicker than the man from Ukraine? There was 7/10 separating Iceland and Ukraine. That was Theodore. 17.05 seconds was the time to beat, and Shane Flowers has done it with daylight. 15.44 seconds to clear all 6 bags. What a performance. So just to run you from top to bottom, we have in 12th place, we have Sigfus, then we have Christian at the very bottom. At the very top, it is Mika Toro, Theodore, Pavlo and Shane. Shane has just put on a masterclass there.
Oh, that looked amazing. Yeah, there was no fumble, there was no mistakes. It was just spot on.
And to do it when it's so cold, he's not used to this. We mentioned Ukraine, Iceland, Finland, they don't mind the cold. Speaking as a Brit, we don't do so well. So he's managing that as well. That was so good.
Oh, definitely. You know, kudos to all the guys. You know, they did really well. And I was right. And it was about the perfect weight for this height.
Also, talk about perfect weight. Another perfect intervention from yourself has been the people talk about prize money. They usually talk about winning the overall is where the prize money is. What's amazing is for the top 5 guys here, in every single event, they get some prize money.
Well, I like to give everybody a chance to earn something.
Yes.
And, you know, this is not the show with the greatest prize money in the world, but I like the guys to go away with something.
And if you're flying yourself over here, it's not cheap to get here, it's not cheap to be here, which also means that if perhaps you are 7th or 8th with 2 events to go, obviously guys compete for pride, but actually you have a way of paying for your groceries next week by just winning one event.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It does help.
And these guys, when I say groceries for me is a lot cheaper than groceries for these guys. Let me tell you, they put a lot of food away. And now the guys very shortly will be transitioning from where we are here to what's taking place behind us there. It will be the stone medley and the stone to shoulder. And we're going to speak to this man here. Come on in, sir. That there was a very, very impressive performance. How was it from your end?
Great, I'm really happy with it. Trained it well, only 2 times though, but still throwing is always a good event for me, always has been. Something that naturally comes well to me, it seems.
It was funny, it was hard to work out how fast it was because your pull is so long and your reach is so high. Yeah. Could you have gone higher, do you think?
You mean the weight-wise?
Well, actually both, because Maggie, I think, got the weights right for everyone, but with yourself, you look like there was more left.
Maybe, but in training I only went up to 28, and you always peak on the competition day, so maybe today I could do it more than in training. But yeah, definitely, maybe the 31, who knows?
With your basketball background, does that help your fitness?
Definitely, I think, in basketball you're always trying to jump high, jump up. So definitely carryovers to this sport. Have you seen many ex-basketball players who come into strongman seem to be great throwers?
And with that, when you know it's a strong event, that also puts pressure on you because you know you have to perform well in your best event. Did you feel any pressure?
Definitely, but it's such an event that that tiniest mistake can cost you so much. So nothing's given in this. I can't say it's a banker event even though I know I'm good at it because you never know. But definitely, because I have some weaker events also coming up, so I need to try to make the most out of this one that I have here, like a good event. If you get what I'm saying.
Okay, exactly what you're saying.
You didn't do any mistakes in this one.
No. Just trying to be careful and not get too cocky like I'm gonna do so well. Just do everything very well and very thought out, I guess.
We're currently speaking on the Rogue YouTube channel, also on Magnus.com. People from around the world are watching this. For people who don't know about Iceland's history in strongman, what does it mean to you to represent Iceland the way you do?
It means a lot, just the heritage. I'm really proud of like what this guy has done for us, and Jón Páll Sigmarsson and all the other great competitors. It's an honor to be part of like this, to be like trying to put my name as well on that stamp, as one of the Icelanders. But I'm not quite there yet, but hopefully in the future I'll have made some impact, I guess.
One thing that happens when you come from Iceland, if you come from Britain, you look like me wearing 7 layers. When you come from Iceland, you wear a t-shirt and shorts and you're okay.
I guess we're just built for this. I always feel pretty hot and comfortable in the cold, so yeah, I can't complain.
And the big question is, when we finish, will you be getting in the bath afterwards?
I don't have any shorts, but yeah, sure, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll jump in.
I don't think the women around would mind.
So we're going to find out if you're big all over. That's what we're saying.
I guess, yeah. I'll jump in after the stone to shoulder if you guys want that. Yeah. Type a comment if you want me to jump in the water.
Great call. Well, you're now top 3 after that one. Okay. Brilliant performance.
What exact place am I? Was it
I think you're third. So it goes Pavlo second,
yeah.
Shane first, and yourself third.
Great. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Great.
Brilliant performance.
Thank you so much.
Good job.
Thank you, sir. What was also very telling, Maggie, is that speaking to him there, in fact, let's speak to the man in second place, Pavlo Kordiaka. Pavlo, second place, you finished, you made that look very easy.
Yeah, I know I could do it better, but I was in first pair and Shea was in the last pair. He know my results, he saw my mistakes, so he was in better position. But it's competition on the first event, 8 events to go. I'll do my best in next event also.
You're Europe's strongest man. That's 6 events in 3 hours. This is 9 events in 3 days. How does that change things?
I guess it's more about mental stability and about your stamina, because you need to compete in 2 days. You need to be patient, struggling with your emotions, fighting your demons in your head. So
you gotta be able to, switch on when it's game time, and you've gotta be able to switch off and just relax in between.
You looked like you were relaxed. You were leaning against the wall with about 2 seconds to go. You looked very relaxed.
Yeah, when I went to event, I was relaxed, but before I was really nervous. I feel anxiety, almost puke.
Wow. Okay.
But when I went to events, I know it's my job. I need to do my job good.
Now I'm sure Auntie Liz is watching this now. We have the 2 handsome men here. The question is, who is the most handsome out of the 2 of you, Pat?
It's unquestionable answer. So there's no answer.
You're thinking about the refereeing, aren't you? You have to say the right answer.
I don't know the right answer, I guess. We need to ask maybe Auntie Liz.
Auntie Liz, send in your answers on a comment, please. We want to know, is it Loz, is it Pav, is it Maggie? That's the real question.
Oh, if question about loss, it's obviously for Liz.
She mentioned on her live, I saw it, that I used to be sexy Magnus. I'm like, Auntie Liz, am I not still sexy Magnus?
The silver fox. The silver fox. Well, Pav, we'll let you go and get prepared. Thank you for talking to us. Brilliant performance from Pavlo. Again, 2 interesting men who are not out of breath at all. They're very, very fit.
Oh, they definitely are. But we got the winner coming up.
Let's bring in Shane. Big Shane Flowers. Shane, that was ridiculous. 1.5 seconds between first and second. That was perfection.
Yeah, it was all right. Yeah, quite happy with it.
Coming into that particular event, how are you feeling? Were you hoping for first?
Yeah, this is a banker event for me. I've done it 4 times in a competition now and I've never lost it. So to have this as the first one to kind of settle the nerves was really good. Pavlo obviously put up a decent time, but the bags being the weight that they are and the height that it is, it was going to come down to fractions of a second. So yeah, I'm glad I come out on top and we can just kind of get carrying on now with the rest of the comp.
I've seen you perform very well in this event in a Giants live But the difference between that and this, as we were mentioning earlier, that's a number of events in one night in a warm arena.
Yeah.
This is very. Is it your first multiple day event because you were unfortunate in Worlds with the injury?
Yeah.
So the first multi-day event, I guess.
The first multi-day event, also the first time I've competed abroad in strongman. If you exclude World's Strongest Man 2022, I've only ever competed on home turf at Giants Live and stuff. So, yeah, my first abroad show, my first multi-day show.
And how do you manage the conditions as well? Because you're managing, there's no time difference, thankfully, but you have the flight. We were on the same flight. You landed yesterday, sleep, you go again, the conditions, multiple events, and then we go again tomorrow. Is any of that going through your head?
No, not really. I mean, we are used to Giants Live, so that's a whole different ball game. But it's more relaxed. I'm just kind of enjoying it a little bit more, and I think that approach will also pay off. And then we do have time in between days as well to get the recovery in and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be beneficial. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. I think it's going to be a great experience as well for you, and it's going to help you grow as a strongman.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Not oversharing here, but one thing you said yesterday is it was the best sleep you'd had for 6 months because you've got a young one. How was your sleep last night?
Really good. Really good. Like 7 hours uninterrupted. Yeah, it was really good. If she's watching this now, she'll be furious. But
She wants you to have a rubbish night's sleep. Do you want to give a shout out to your kid, by the way?
yeah, a massive shout out, Ronnie. If you're ever watching this in the future, mate, just know that I love you with all my heart. You're the reason why I can be this strong. And anything that I can do, you can do twice more because you're the product of me and the strongest woman I've ever met. So I love you, mate.
Shane, well said. Awesome words. We're going to see you in event number 2. All the very best of luck. What a talent this guy is, by the way. Still in his 20s. And 29 years old. Not that much experience in strongman. You can't tell it from how he competes.
No, he's so strong and talented, and I think he's still got a lot to show and prove.
Which is frightening for everybody else because he really is an absolutely fantastic competitor. Well, that is event 1 out of 9 underway and done. You can probably hear a little bit of noise. We've got planes going overhead. That's not the thing that excites us. It's the bath behind the camera. We are now 2 events away from us getting inside that bath, but the stones will be getting underway, stone to shoulder, and then the stone medley as well. This really is anybody's guess, and especially after an event which is now meaning the field is wide open. This is the Magnusson Strongman Classic, and we'll be back with you very shortly. Hello and welcome back to the Magnus Fair Magnusson Strongman Classic. It is now time for event number 2. This is a 3-day strongman event, 3 events in each day. We've seen the bag throw, which took place just behind us here, where the guys are throwing the best part of about 4 meters over the rail where the people are standing behind us here. But it's now time for the natural stone press medley, and right on cue, the man at the very heart of this event, Magnusson Magnusson. This looks gorgeous, by the way, here, the geothermal pools. There is no doubt that we're in Iceland when you see a geothermal pool.
Well, people seem to be really relaxed back there and waiting for the action. Yeah, we got the stone press medley. Now, this is different. You got to do this fast. You got to get a good time. The weights are 118 kilos. The one of them, but it's 100 kilos, 112, 118, and 122 for the heaviest one.
Now, to people who love strongman, they might not think that's that impressive for a stone, but these aren't, first of all, Atlas stones, and they're not calibrated stones. These are natural stones, very different.
Well, we're choosing stones that are kind of like a square, but none of them is exactly the same. None of them has the exact balance, so you got to find the balance. I figured out when I was good at stone pressing, I figured out a way. I would usually get it up to my chest and kind of lift it slightly just to feel the balance of it, and take it down if I needed to move my hand a little bit before I lifted it.
So, to that said, the 2 men at the bottom of the table, the bottom of 12, are both Icelandics. They'll be going up first. How important is experience in this event, which obviously they have been here?
Well, I would say, Icelanders might have an advantage because I do have stone presses in some of these shows that they do, but you got like Paul Dwyer here that he says he loves pressing stones, so that's going to be interesting. We got a lot of good athletes as well, and I know I've seen some training videos of Shane doing blocks and stones, and the thing when you train for something like that, you got to do all sorts of versions of pressing just to get used to that. Nothing is perfect.
And Maggie mentioned Shane there. Shane's currently leading the results as things stand. 1 of 9 events. This is by no means a foregone conclusion. In terms of this event here, when I think of yourself, when I think of Iceland, I do think of stones. So this is bringing us right back to the real heart of strongman.
Well, it's actually, World's Strongest Man was once held in Iceland, and I won the stone press in front of the big waterfall, Gullfoss.
Should we talk about what happened in the event that didn't go quite so well?
There's one event there that we don't talk about.
Never spoken about, nothing happened, we're going to move on. But what is it that you love most about stones? Because it's a real skill to see the guys, even in the practice, the lighter stones, it's such a challenge of balance, of coordination, of thinking.
Well, to me, the stone press is the ultimate overhead press. That's just to me, that's my opinion.
Okay.
But because it's a lot of skills, there's a lot of things that you have to keep in mind. You got to have a perfect balance, you got to figure it out, and it's totally different from lifting a log or axle or anything else. This is so much that comes into play.
There's something also about natural stones that brings you back to even being a child, where that's on the ground, I think I can lift it, can you lift it? Not many 5, 6, 7-year-olds see an axle bar as they go walking along the beach, but you can find natural stones. So this is kind of the ultimate proof of who can do it in the world.
Well, pretty much. I think you didn't have barbells or any of that in the old days, but people would still train, they would still lift things. And what's the easiest thing to find? Stones.
Right, yeah, absolutely. And the same in places like Scotland as well. It's not just in Scandinavia, it's in Scotland. And you mentioned Pa loving stones. Actually, him and Eddie Williams did a wonderful video doing a tour of Scotland, lifting some of the legendary stones. And what I love about the stones is it comes with an etiquette. It comes with a respect. So you don't just dump these stones on concrete, you place them down because there's a history and we want the stone to last.
Yeah, definitely. Now what we've done here is we have him on the sand doing it, so we haven't made it easier for them. But like I said, this is a good challenge.
Absolutely, we can see Sigfús Fossdal now very, very close to his very first stone. He looked a little bit disappointed with his first performance in the bag throw, a chance to really test himself. Now, he has had an operation in both of his shoulders, and this is not going to lend itself to helping that situation. A little story about him: as a result of his second operation, he actually discovered that he had a tumour, oh beautiful, a tumour
100 kilo.
on his neck. So were it not for that second stone shoulder injury, he may not be here. So we're very grateful that he did find out. And you've seen that experience, Maggie, he's very calm. Oh.
112.
He's got the signal, he's got the down signal. It's considered, it's not quick, but it looks confident.
Yeah, he's good. He had to take a little time and get that balance. Now we have 118 kilo stone.
It's amazing how much a little jump can, you can immediately see it. He leans back a lot, he's got a lot of mobility.
Sigfús was a really good bench presser. And
I think he had the Iceland record for, I think he might even still have it for a number of years.
yeah, at least I think he still has the heaviest bench press ever set by an Icelander.
Yeah, he's a very, very wide man, a very thick man. And speaking to him at dinner, he said, some people ask me, when will I retire? He said, I just love it too much. He said, why do I want to retire?
Yeah, well, he's settling with the 2 stones. Like I said, you know, the weight ain't that great, but do this in a medley, it makes a lot of difference.
How tough is it on your chest when you've got that stone pressing down on you and you're trying to get your hands in the right position?
Well, it's just trying to find that balance.
Then we've got Killy here. Killy's going to feature very heavily. Thankfully, he's bringing us the results of the score so far. So in terms of the time to achieve 2 stones, that's 25.5 seconds for Sigfús. I think it will be beaten. Thank you very much, Killy. I think it will be beaten, but that was a solid performance.
It was a good performance. Like you said, Sigfús has been battling some injuries, and he battled a bit of a cancer as well. And,
Yes.
And so he's been under the knife. But he's still here. He's still fighting, and you know that's the spirit. You never give up.
He's 40 years old as well, it has to be said. We have guys as young as, I think, 28, I think might be the youngest, in Pavlo Kordiaka, and 44 the oldest. We're seeing a real mixture of physiques in this, from 6'10" down to about 6 foot. What would be the ideal body type for this one, or is such a thing existing with stone pressing?
I don't think there's a special body type, but the person we got coming up is Christian Sindri Nielsen, and he is a really good presser.
He actually coaches as well.
He does, so I'm really excited to see what he does. I'm expecting him to finish this.
Ah, okay. Now, interestingly, in practice, he was actually encouraging the other guys, giving their advice, such as his sportsmanship. Now, straight away, you can see how stable he is. A very wide base. That looked very much within him. Maggie's got a lot of confidence in him to get all 4 stones, and so far, he's making it look very comfortable.
Taking his time, making sure he's got the balance. See that? Change the grip a little bit. There you go.
The beard helps with the balance.
Yeah.
Now, it's quite cold here, fairly still, so that some of the guys opting for t-shirt and shorts. Not the case with us, but Christian getting big breaths into him, getting a lot of oxygen in.
118. He should press this no problem. It's just if he gets the balance.
This is really interesting to see it because, like you say, the power is not the issue. Oh, did he get given it?
Yeah.
No, he did touch his chest there. Hopefully his pec's okay. He didn't get the down signal.
No, he didn't hold it.
Now, I kind of expressed disappointment. Maggie just didn't change his demeanour at all because he is as hard a referee as they come, so it wasn't good enough. Something tells me Christian might be a little bit disappointed with that.
Yeah, but he might have felt that in his shoulder. I was surprised with that because I know he's a good presser, and I know in training he's pressed 130 kilo stones, something like that.
Is that right?
Yeah. So, yeah, that was a bit of a surprise.
Now, speaking to a couple of the guys who've actually received tutelage from Christian, they'll no doubt be speaking to him afterwards as well. So interestingly, Christian managed that in just under 30 seconds, so he's 5 seconds slower than Sigfús. So the Battle of the Icelandics, it is Sigfús currently leading proceedings, but now seeing Shane Flowers heading towards us here, now he's somebody whose power's not the issue. He's a very strong man, a very explosive man, but can he find that subtlety of the balance as well? Well, how will another Brit there who comes by way of Spain, currently lives in Tenerife. He is known as a very special nickname. What's his nickname, Maggie?
Tenerife Viking.
Yes, he is. He looks the part as well. Now, he's getting smelling salts. I have to say, I'm kind of surprised, just in the sense that, you, like you say, you have to be very, very aware of your body position, very aware of where the stones are. It's not about out-and-out power. This is about, actually...
If you rush too much, you can do mistakes. So you gotta, you gotta be excited up, but still keep your cool, if you understand what I'm saying.
And he found the balance point, and there was no question of his strength there. It was a very, very smooth lift once he got it into position. I guess with his lack of experience in this event, the challenge for him is maybe getting it up to his chest. He's managing that one a little bit better. 2 has been.
112 kilos.
No one's gone past 2, so this will be to level it in terms of stones, not necessarily the time. Can he? He's calling it there. Now, we've just found out who the boss is, because his girlfriend has just said, you've got time, go again, and he's going again.
And he's applying.
He is.
Applying, that's it.
Now, interestingly, he hasn't gone for gloves. Would you go for gloves, given the temperature?
No gloves allowed.
So no, the answer to that would be no. So no gloves also. We mentioned it with our first event, no tacky as well with this event. So nothing that will allow you to have an improved grip on this. And that for Matt Riddle. Now, interestingly, that was 23 seconds to the first stone, so he is currently in 3rd place as things stand. I almost got very excited then. I thought he defied what I thought was the stopwatch. Up next is Sean Gillen, has flown a long, long way from Australia to be here. So we expect...
I think this is about his 3rd competition weekend in a row.
I think you're absolutely right. So jet lag, fatigue, he laughs in its face. He's a very thick man.
He means business.
He really does. And that is the fastest we've seen of these first stones.
That looked really good.
So if he can get this 2nd stone up and keep it at that pace, he'll be in the lead. The ref kept him there for a while, Maggie.
Yeah.
There's something about these Icelandics and the referees, you're tough guys. Now, the first man, he will be, if he manages to press this stone, 118 kilograms. Can he get it? It's in position. He's balanced. Oh, well done.
Nice.
Well done. Now, Australia is known for a very special rock. It isn't a rock that you can press, but boy, is he putting on a show for us here.
He's going for the heaviest one.
Can
122 kilos.
122. Can he complete the set? Taking a little breather on his knees. It's up to the chest. Can he lock it? Can he get the down signal?
Yeah.
Yes, he can. Sean Gillen, he's delighted with that one.
That was really well done. Not that fast, but he got the job done.
He really did get the job done. And Rongo's giving him the fist pump of respect. 2 men from that part of the world. They're good mates. And Rongo looked disappointed after his performance in the bag throw. Now, he managed 4 bags then. He was hoping for all 6, but only managed 4 at the time. But as far as Sean Gillen, the time to beat, just over 1 minute, 67.5 seconds for all 4 stones. So 67.5 seconds is the time to have in your minds. How close do we think Rongo will get to this?
Well, he looked good at it last year, and the competitors got 75 seconds to complete the task or go as far as they can.
So Rongo, the reigning champion, He's going topless again, skin to win, as they say. Now we know
He needs a good score here.
we know he wants it. Sometimes with this, he's going to have patience as well. Can he be cool, calm and collected? He's got that rock to his chest. Needs to be patient. He'll be happy with that. 2 down in a fairly pacey.
118 now.
Now you can see how tight his belt is around his chest. Brilliant back mobility, not driving with his legs, but simply strict pressing it like we possibly used to see from Iron Bibby with axle press.
Yeah, the thing is, with the stone, pressing a stone, if you drive with your legs, it can actually throw you off a bit. So if you can, just press it, is a better option.
Can Rongo get this last stone? He's going to struggle to get oxygen into those lungs at this point. Can he lock it? He's gone back. He's gone back. Does he get the down signal?
Oh, yep.
Yes, he does.
got it.
He had to hold it for quite some time
yeah.
again, which is saying a lot about his natural strength. To be able to hold a stone which is not calibrated, it's not balanced, it says a lot.
Well, he was leaning a lot back, so we're waiting for him to come back up a little bit before we say down. But no, he did good.
He did good. 4 stones, which matches the most number of stones. How close to 67.5 seconds will it be? Killy's got the scores and the doors. 70.41 seconds, so 4 seconds slower than Sean. This is, when you think that's 1 minute 10 versus 1 minute 6, not much in that. This is close.
That's close. And, you know, close to the time limit as well.
Oh, that's a great point. Actually, yeah, 4 seconds in the time limit. And usually time limits, they don't usually get challenged. They are getting challenged here. Did you have any option in terms of potentially different weights for this one?
Yeah, I got more stones. I got heavier stones. But this was the weights that we opt to go with, especially in the medley. I got a world record stone of 150 something that we had here last year, and it's still available if somebody wants it.
Well, up next, we have Yakos.
Willis Yakutsis.
Yakutsis, thank you, sir. The pronunciation on his name is a real challenge. Oh my goodness gracious. And that was kind of what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Even it was fast.
He's really technical.
Yes.
Really technical.
So will he go slightly slower on this one? I'll tell you what, that is a beautiful lockout he's got.
Yeah.
Villiers, what a guy.
When he gets it, he locks that out beautifully.
It's almost like a squat jerk, it's that fast. He's a man here, 27 years old, comes from Lithuania, and won Žydrūnas Safiskas, and no doubt will be his hero. Ooh!
We call him Big Wee. So we got, from Lithuania, we got Big C and Big Wee.
Now, will Villiers manage to press this third stone? The first 2 looked very comfortable.
He's just has to find the balance. He didn't have the balance on it, and he just ran out of energy.
Yeah, it's really interesting. He had a brilliant performance in the bags, actually. Well, in fact, he had a very similar performance in the throw, because we saw him with the bags. The first 4 bags were comfortable and powerful, like we saw there, and all of a sudden, power can just leave you.
Yeah, sometimes it just looks like you just hit that wall, and you just can't get over it.
So it'll be interesting to know what his time was. Now, it was only just under 22 seconds for the first 2 stones. So he's the fastest person to achieve just the 2 stones, which puts him currently in 3rd place so far. Thank you, Keely. So it could come down to, in terms of getting in the top few, not about completing it, but completing the first few fast. Now, Paro Dwyer, you said before, Maggie, he loves pressing stones.
Well, that's what he said, so let's see what he does.
Oh, that looked
good, didn't it?
Oh, go on, Par.
Now I'm excited to see what's coming.
Now, for me, he's a dark horse over these 9 events. Oh, careful, careful.
Yeah.
Yes, he's enjoying this. You can see that. He's the only person who looks at the referee to almost ask them how they're doing. Now, can Par get all 4? Be patient. Now it's on sand, we should
Gotta find
remind
the balance.
ourselves. Doesn't look back. Go on, par.
Oh, you got it.
Beautiful par.
Yeah.
Now the only man to do 3 if he stops there. We've had 2 on 4. We've had a number on 2. Par the only person to have done 3. Can he manage to get a 4th and be the 3rd person to do 4? He doesn't have a huge amount of experience in natural stone pressing, certainly in the Scandinavian standpoint, but he just lifted Highland stones with Eddie Williams. Can he get this last one? Go on, par!
Oh. That
He's
pulled
gonna-
a little bit too much.
He's going to call it there. Now, this is one of the lightest frames I've seen on par. He does look very athletic at the moment. Not necessarily his out-and-out strongest, but he looks athletic.
It looks pretty fit. I've seen him heavier.
Totally, exactly that, yes. Now he is holding, he was carrying a little bit of support on his right elbow, and afterwards he is still holding. I hope he's okay after that. It looks like it might even be a forearm issue that he's got there. But the 3 stones were accomplished in 42.8 seconds. The only man, thank you, Killy, the only man to do just the 3 stones, 2 managing successfully to do 4 stones. Yeah, Parr looks like he does carry a bit of an injury, but I think that might be enough to put him in amongst it.
That still gives him good points, I would think.
So with 5 athletes left to go, we have Canada, Finland, Iceland, Ukraine, and England all in contention. Whether it's England or Great Britain, that's the real question, but England is what we're going to call it for just now. And just while we do have a chance to talk about these, we've got fantastic T-shirts and hoodies, by the way. The athletes have got their very own bespoke T-shirts and hoodies that are available to purchase, unless you want the Maggie one. That's I have to say, that is genuinely my favourite one. It's an awesome picture of Maggie on the back.
Tristan Hoyts from Canada.
Canada has its own version of Highland Games, so he will have done stone pressing before, and that looked okay. He'll want...
Struggling a little bit with the lockout there, just finding his balance. And even that, just finding a balance, it can affect the lockout. But he's fighting that one.
Oh, go on.
Oh,
Well
he
done.
got it.
He had to really work his
Oh,
core
he had to
through
look
that.
for that
Yeah.
one.
So he's currently 5th after the bag throw. He'll want another good performance here. So far he's got it. I don't think it's quite as quick as Parr to the 3rd stone, although Parr took a little bit of time to get that 3rd one. Can Tristan sneak his way up? So he'll be 2nd to Parr. He's calling it there. Now this is going to be a fascinating one, Maggie, because you're going to have people, a number now, have pressed 2 stones, but how fast will they have pressed those 2 stones? That will really be separating the bottom half of the table massively.
Well, again, this shows we choose the right weights.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely right. And we get this scores and adores from Killy. So Tristan managing 33 seconds for 2 stones. So in terms of 2 stones alone, the fastest is Villius to do just 2 stones. Thank you, Killy. So very, very close with the 2 stone presses, about 3 or 4 seconds separating all of them. But how's the big man going to fare here from Finland, Mika Toro? Now the oldest competitor in the field, possibly the heaviest. He's a big man.
It sure is.
But that means this has to travel a lot further.
It goes pretty high in the air.
Yes, it does. It's quite tough for him just to get his hands underneath it.
He didn't feel that one. This one is more of a kind of square. It's a different shape, and you really gotta find the right handles on it and the balance. And you gotta get it high enough on your chest, which he's not.
It almost looks like a slight mobility issue. Struggles to get his shoulders really under it.
Well, I think he's that big.
Yes,
he's
exactly.
that wide.
Exactly.
That this is like a really close grip press for him.
Oh my! He hit himself in the chin. That if that had touched my chin, I'd currently be knocked out. He's a strong man. He's a hard man. Although this event possibly not for him.
No, but it's tough to have to admit that you got beaten by the stone.
Right. Yeah.
And he's strong enough, It's just the awkwardness of the implement.
So actually, if it was a bigger stone, it might almost be easier for him.
If a stone was wider, probably it would be.
So we now have 3 athletes still left to go, and for Mika, that was 10 seconds to the first stone. So currently gets himself just 1 point after that event, which will really mean that this field is wide open. The question is, how strong will the performances be from the top 3 guys? They really did put a masterclass on in the bag throw in the form of Theodore, Pavlo and Shane. Now, no doubt Shane will be keeping a close eye on this, as will Pavlo, because Theodore is another big man. He said to me in the back, this isn't his strongest event, but he wants a good performance.
He wants to do well here, and he knows if he gets 2, he's still in the mix with all these guys that did that. Now, if he gets 3, he's
Yes.
sitting really, really good. But, you know, and after him, we got some good presses coming.
So 22 seconds is about the mark he'll need to put himself in the lead for 2 stones. So I wonder if his aim will be 2 stones with a quick time. Now he's gotten underneath the stone. He's really having to arch back.
He got that one.
He did get that one. It was by no means quick, but it was solid. This next stone will be crucial, given how many men have managed only 2 stones.
Probably his game plan is probably trying to take his time and get 3.
Oh, my goodness gracious. I'm glad he walked away from that okay. Now, if you look at the back of his T-shirt, that
Yeah.
speaks volumes.
Yeah.
That speaks volumes. And you actually feel the vibration on the floor when these stones hit.
Oh, definitely. You know, this is a heavy weight.
Now, he's Icelandic, so he doesn't experience pressing.
No. There's the call of the day on that.
It really is a tough event for the bigger man. And I'll tell you what, I mentioned that these guys aren't just strong, they're tough men as well.
Oh, yeah. No, they, like I said, you know, none of these stones have the exact same handles or what. You got to find each one's balance. And because of the shape of the second one, it's giving some of them problems. Other guys just like throw it up like nothing.
Right.
It's just you got to adapt to each and every stone.
I'll tell you, someone who, looking at the guys here, they're taking a look at each other's wounds, because it's safe to say he's got a little scratch after that one. So Theodore managing that in 15 seconds, which means he's currently at the very, very bottom of the table. He'll be disappointed with that, but from a neutral standpoint, it will be really fascinating. Now, I do hope Theodore's okay. He has taken a bit of a wound to his shoulder blade.
Pavlo Cardiaca coming up.
Now, this will be interesting. We know he's strong, we know he's fast, but how does he fare with the subtlety of this event? Well, that looked good, Maggie.
Yeah. He seems to have. He's a great technician as well when he lifts.
Quite a narrow stance, actually, as well. He's being patient. Oh. He went for a walk. It's almost like he doesn't know how to apply his strength because it's so tough to just find that balance point. He's staying calm.
Yeah. What he should do here is stand wider, really wide, and then he can lean more into it and get the right drive that he needs.
There's no issue with the clean. He's gone slightly wider. It's almost like he heard you. My goodness, you are a cruel man, Maggie. You knew what would really separate the men from the boys on this one. My goodness.
You see what an event like this does is it does test you, it does challenge you, and you could be, like I said, good with the log lift or whatever. It does not mean that you're necessarily good with pressing a stone.
And that for you is why it's the ultimate overhead press. So that time there, which could prove crucial, Pavlo Cardiaca managing 1 stone, but in 10 seconds. So he's the fastest. I mean, my goodness. Between him and Mika Toro for the one stone presser, 4/10 of a second is all that's separating them. And by the way, I mean, we could read out these scores for the next 2 minutes and all the different connotations. This means this field is wide open. Thank you very much, Keely. Now, Shane
That
Flowers.
was a surprise. That was a bit of a surprise. But Shane Flowers,
Big opportunity here.
he can make some gap. If he does well here, that's really good points.
Big opportunity for the man from England. He will not be used to an event like this. He may have trained it a little bit.
Find the balance.
Okay,
Yeah.
he got it. It wasn't pretty, but he got it.
Yeah.
Now, Shane would love to get 3 stones here. That will give him a fantastic lead overall, given that the second and third, after the bag throw, only managed 1 stone. He brute forced that one.
Yeah, he worked for that one.
Okay, so we have the 3rd stone, and this really is an important one, especially given we don't know how fast that 2nd stone was. And what Maggie's
Now,
perfect.
this stone is slightly wider, so he might be able to handle it better.
Oh, that's interesting. Doesn't look
But
like
he got to find the right balance.
doesn't have
with
that
it.
balance point at the moment. Looks a little bit too far away. No.
Yeah. Yeah,
Is it
he's calling
scary? Because some of these guys, when they're dropping the stones, I haven't seen that face before. It's a face of, I don't know what's going on. It's a
Yeah.
little bit scary.
Well, they don't really believe it because it ain't that heavy. The weight isn't that great, but it's a challenge. You know, this really, tests them. Like I said, it's a lot that comes into play pressing a stone.
Absolutely right. Now, I'm going to actually take the scores away from Killy. Thank you very much, sir, because there's a number of things we can talk about here, Maggie. Now, in terms of events, that was won by Sean Gillen and Rongo Keane. So the 2 men from New Zealand/Australia, the only 2 men to press 4 stones. Then 1 managed 3 stones, and the big differentiator, 1, 2, 3, 5 men pressed 2 stones, and 4 pressed just 1 stone. Now, what that means for the scores on the doors, this is superb, by the way. We have a joint leader overall in the form of Rongo Keane and Sean Gillen. They're on 16 points. I do apologise. In fact, overall, the leader is Paro Dwyer. Par is at 17 points. Rongo and Sean on 16 points. Just 1 point separating them. And then sharing 15 points, we have Pavlo and we have Villius. And Shane Flowers on 17. Now, what we've got on this scores, it's not necessarily in order. So I've been getting a little bit excited in advance. Let me take a breath and now give you the actual scores. So, 17 is a joint leader of Shane Flowers and Paro Dwyer. Superb comeback from Par. Then, in joint 3rd place, Sean and Rongo with 16, so just 1 point separating them. And then another joint shared position of joint 5th place would be Villius and Pavlo with 15 points. The upshot of that is, if you can't see the scores at home, 6 men are separated by just 2 points. This could not be any closer. 6 men separated by 2 points, either 17, 16 or 15. Rongo is back in the mix. Sean has put himself in the mix. Par's now joint leading. This is unbelievable.
Well, this just shows you how things can twist
Yes.
and change. Like I said, you got 9 events. It's wide open.
It really is wide open. So much so, the sun's coming out. Now, when the sun comes out in Iceland, that means it is getting very, very excited here. Now, as you can probably tell from what's going on behind us here, now we have a number of tickets available to this event, but the guys behind us here are the VVIPs. It means you get to enjoy the thermal water as well as enjoy the strongman as well. Up next, with a stone to shoulder event. That one, just to kind of tee ourselves up for it, will it be closer to a more traditional, the stronger man would do better?
It should be. You know, it's a stone to shoulder medley. 4 stones. I think it's 95 kilos, 105, if I remember right, 130 and 145.
And I tell you what, if that is anything like the 2 events we've just seen, do not go anywhere, because this is going to be an absolute corker. 9 events in total in the Magnusson Strongman Classic. 3 today, 3 tomorrow, and 3 on Sunday. We're now 2 down today, just 1 more to go, and it is not to be missed. And we'll see you very shortly. Welcome back to the Magnusson Strongman Classic. I'm joined by the man walking behind us here, Magnus Magnusson, where we are now getting ready for event number 3. Day 1, event number 3, the final event of the day, where things could not be any closer. The top 6 men are separated by just 2 points. Joint first have 17, joint third have 16, and joint third have 15 points. This is going to be an important event coming up, stone to shoulder.
Oh, definitely. This is a stone to shoulder medley. We got a 95 kilos, we got 105 kilos, we got 130 kilos, and 145 kilos. And they got 75 seconds to complete the task or complete as many as they can.
So with that said, how important would it be? We saw a big separation between men who lifted 2 stones with the natural stones being fast for the first couple of stones here.
Oh, lifting a stone to shoulder is a bit different from pressing it. We might see some surprises here.
And it's Matthew Riddle up first. He's British by way of Spain. He's just said to me off air he would love a brilliant performance here. For him, this is all about
95 kilos.
95 looking smooth. He's got it to the shoulder.
Yep.
Oh, well done, Matt. That was fast as well.
That.
Now that isn't the sound a stone makes when it comes off the ground. He's fast, but he's not that fast. We are close to the airport.
Right,
well done, Matt. He will be delighted with this.
We're actually here close to the domestic airport in Reykjavik.
Yes, we are. Now this here, all of a sudden, he's having to work this one out. We should mention they are natural stones. We saw natural stones with the press, natural stones here as well.
This 130 is a great challenge.
Significantly as well, no tacky allowed here, Maggie.
No tacky. You have to be all natural.
All natural in every sense, even the stones are natural. He's calling it there, although it might be quote-unquote just 2 stones, but actually that was a fast 2 stones.
It was pretty fast with those 2, yeah, he actually was. But I'm expecting, Rongo finished the stones last year, a few others did, so I'm expecting a few guys to finish it.
Killy's got the time of those 2 stones, which is 21 seconds. Thank you, Killy. So 21 seconds, the time to beat for the second stone. Now the man who's going second, quite surprising to see him here, is Theodore. We saw a brilliant performance in terms of the bag throw. Wasn't the same case when it came to the natural stone pressing. He was disappointed. He has picked up a couple of injuries in the form of wounds, but crucially to one of his fingers. That we'll find out just how much that affects him over the course of the next few moments. He's got a long way to go, these stones, Maggie.
Well, it's actually like really, as your coach says last year, he was bleeding a little bit. He said, if you ain't bleeding, you ain't trying.
I love that. I love that. Well, hopefully, actually, come to think of it, the fact that the injuries on his left side might be not quite so ventral side, given a choice.
Well, I think, you can put it on either side, whatever, but some people just like one side.
We're going to find out how he fares with this one. This stone will have to go a long old way. We are talking about a true giant in every sense. Solid. Oh, that stone has pierced the ground.
Yeah.
Here comes
So
a
he's
second
finished
stone.
the 95, so he's going for the 105 now.
I'll tell you what, the strength is not the issue here at all.
Made that look pretty good. Now this was a bit of a more of a challenge.
Here we go. Third stone. First man to get the third to this. I'll tell you what. And it's on sand as well. It's not perfectly even.
He flicked that one up pretty easy.
Yeah. Can he get all 4?
That was the last one.
He's
145 kilos.
Now, where did the hands go on this one? Can he find it? It's a different shaped stone, this one. He's rolling it up his long torso.
Oh, not quite.
Does not have long left. He's going to call it there. Last event of the day, and he's finished it fairly strong, Maggie.
It looked good with those three. You know, it's not just the weight when you come to the last one, you're getting fatigue as well.
Now, the time for that one, crucially, 3 stones in 37 seconds. Thank you, Killy. Now, the other big man of this competition, they're all big men, but in terms of the absolute biggest, Mika up next. He was another man who couldn't quite get it together with the natural stones, couldn't, as you pointed out to us, get his hands under the fairly slim stones. How will he do in stone to shoulder?
Yeah. Well, he should be okay in this. I was talking to him after the stone press, and he said, oh, he likes it.
And he looks like he likes... Oh, you like the natural stones?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. He really is a large man.
Oh, that's looking good.
Yes, and he's staying very
He's
composed.
got experience. He was here last year.
It's not his first rodeo, this. And he was very careful about where he put his hands then, very methodical. He knows what he's looking for. I'll tell you what, Maggie, just to the layman, it can't be comfortable having that stone leaning against your face like that.
No, it's leaning against your face or putting a strain on your neck and your shoulder.
Now, can he manage all 4 stones? Can he be the first man to get the 4th and final stone up? Come on! Can he roll it up there? Both men had the same issue there. You can't power clean this.
No, they just ran out of steam. It's just like it's a funny thing. It's just it drains you. Suddenly you're lifting it and you feel like I don't have any energy left.
Well, with these guys, how fast was it? Both the 3 stones, the 2 big men, Mika Toro and Theodore, separated by 0.6 of a second, but it was Mika who was just that little bit slower, meaning that the Icelandic, thank you, Killy, stays in 2nd position. Or rather, is 2nd out of the 2 men there. Matt Riddle currently in 3rd. This could prove to be a crucial event, especially for Pavlo Kordiaka. So we've just seen the last 3 men, including Pavlo, to go were the first 3 in the
Pablo needs to pick up points here after this disappointment in the stone press. There we go.
Now he's back in the groove. Given the clothes what he's wearing, he looks like he could pop into the gym for a cheeky session, or maybe going for a stroll. He looks so composed, this man. He's found it. Brilliant. Can he get the 4th stone? A slightly slimmer frame. It doesn't have to protrude as much with the power clean. Can he get this up? Can he get it up?
Oh,
Go on, Pav.
It's there. It's there.
Can he get it in position and release that hand? Yes, he can. Superb performance.
Really well done.
And that has put him right back in the mix. He was in joint 5th position. I mentioned 6 men separated by 2 points. After that, Pavlo, something tells me, will go from 5th to potentially something higher. And there's time to beat. 48 seconds for Pavlo Kordiaka, the only man to do 4 stones so far. Thank you, Killy. And Shane Flowers is the man following him. It's been amazing to see the difference in the bag throw versus the natural stone press. It really has turned the tables on its head. That was Shane Flowers getting himself ready. On the back of his belt there, now I think it said Ronnie's daddy. That is awesome. Yeah. Ronnie is his son, in case you don't know, 6 months old. He'll no doubt be watching and supporting his dad.
I might still be a little bit old to be watching and understanding what is going on, but you know, it's all getting taped, so he might watch it one day.
Ronnie's lifting milk bottles, his dad's lifting stones, and he's got the woolly hat for power. How will Shane fare here? We mentioned before, brilliant experience in one day, not so much experience in multi-day competitions and battling the elements as well. And both of these, Maggie, they're looking great.
Yeah, he's looking good there.
He's looking incredibly composed and efficient. Possibly the fastest of 3 stones we've seen.
It looks really fast so far.
Quick release as well with his hand, finding the balance point. My goodness, that was quick. Well done, Shane
nice.
Flowers. And it looks like he's almost rubbing his ear. I mean,
I'm pretty sure that stone was touching the air.
right, yeah, a brutally uncomfortable event. Well, Shane Flowers, I mean, there's fast, and then there's what Shane Flowers has just done. 37.94 seconds, ostensibly 38 seconds for that one. That was rapid.
Yep, he made that look easy.
I'll put it out there. It's going to take some beating.
It's definitely going to take some beating. That was a fast time.
Just over 12 seconds per stone is what's going to be required for this one. And up next, we're seeing a man who performed very well in the natural stones. Tristan Hoth
He comes from Canada.
He does indeed set up his own gym. And in Canada, to be fair, there's a bit of a Highland tradition there, so he may have experience in this type of event. It's not like an Atlas stone to his shoulder. Very, very different challenge. And he's looking quick, Maggie.
He's looking good.
How quick is the question? And can he get all 4 stones? And a touch of class from Shane Flowers you can't see, cheering his competitor on. Such is the nature of strongman. There's a massive sense of camaraderie here.
Oh, he was pretty fast with those 3.
Come on, Tristan. Can he get it up? Can he release it faster than Shane Flowers? We're about to find out.
Nicely done.
It was fast.
I don't think it was fast
I
enough.
don't think it was quite as fast as Shane. I'll say 42 seconds if you push us.
All right, you got an inside clock there.
Yeah, constantly ticking away. How close was it? 44 seconds. 44 seconds. Close but no cigar.
That was close enough.
I'll take it. But a good performance.
Yeah.
And that might be enough for, say, top 4, possibly.
Possibly. He's looking good. He's been looking good throughout the events so far.
Now, Christian didn't perform as well as we thought he might have in the natural stone pressing. How do you think he will in the stone to shoulder medley?
Normally I was expecting him to smoke through that stone pressing because that shocked me a little bit. I don't know what happened or if he has an injury or whatnot, but recently he tore a hamstring, and that might be affecting him. So we'll see. He went for an operation. They opened it up, and they basically just closed him up again and said, "Well, no, we can't do anything. So we'll just have to wait for it to heal up." And he had qualified for this show. He didn't want to miss the opportunity. He still wanted to be here. He had actually, before the operation, said to me, "No, I'm going to have to pull out." But after they couldn't do anything, so it wasn't really that much, he said, "No, I like to do it."
What a guy. What a guy. We're grateful that he's here. Hopefully that hamstring injury won't affect him too much in this event, although the stability required, it will come into effect, certainly the adductors. Now that was a very efficient first stone. He was very methodical in putting out where he wanted the stones to be.
Oh, nice.
Now he's not necessarily the fastest. He would love to get this 3rd stone. Oh, can he roll it up? Can he roll it up? Thus far we've seen 2 fairly slim men get the 3rd and 4th
He's
stone.
fighting it.
He is fighting it.
Oh, wow.
There is no question about
That's
that
good
man's
after that.
desire. He's calling
happy with
it.
that.
He's calling it, rightfully so. My goodness, he fought tooth and nail for that one. He looks a little bit in discomfort on his left shoulder.
Yeah, I think, because of that injury in the hamstring, I think he's kind of holding back slightly.
Well, he managed 3 stones nonetheless in 53 seconds. Slower between him and Mika Toro, the other man to do 3 stones. In fact, so Theodore and Mika, the other 2 men to manage 3. So that puts him mid-table about. Thank you very much, Killy. So a solid mid-table performance from him. How well will it fare with... Now, if I'd had an operation on both of my shoulders, I probably wouldn't want to have a stone over 100 kilos resting on it unless your name is Sigfús.
Yeah. Yeah, Sigfús been lifting for a long time. Yeah, he did some great weights in powerlifting. Decided to come up and do some strongman. Great presser. Unfortunately, his pressing might be a little bit down after all these operations and whatnot, but he's still here, still fighting, and still enjoying himself.
And we're enjoying watching him, and just like Christian, he's having the stones put exactly where he wants them to be. So he's thought his way through this, and he's almost testing the 4th stone, which says he's got ambitions of completing the set, Maggie.
Oh, he wants to go for all of them. Now the trick is, this is also when you're pressing a stone, is how sometimes actually, or lifting a stone, is sometimes actually the easiest way to grab it from the ground isn't necessarily the easiest way to finish the lift with it.
Right, okay. So sometimes you make it harder at the pickup to make it easier at the end. Well, he made that look very easy.
Yeah, that looked good.
I'll tell you what, this is intelligent lifting from Sigfús.
He's looking good, that. He wants all of them.
He wants all of them.
Is he going to get him? That's the question.
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to believe in Sigfús. Go on, Sigfús. Can he get it controlled? Big lift coming up.
So none of them have dropped behind their head. So if you drop it behind your shoulder, it's a no lift.
Right.
So they're really cautious on that.
So just like Olympic lifting, it has to be dropped in front for it to count.
He's got the 145 in his lap. Will he manage to shoulder it?
Oh, go on, Sigfús.
Oh,
Go on,
it's up there.
Sigfús.
It's up there.
Oh, he's fighting. Don't drop it at the back. Don't drop it at the back. Mike, you're really seeing the angle of that from this.
Yeah. He's
Oh
trying
my
to find
goodness.
the balance there.
Oh.
Yeah. Didn't quite get it. Didn't quite get it.
My goodness, that's disappointing for him. That was so close. And it's at this angle, Maggie, you really see how uncomfortable it must be. Because that stone looked as though it was almost about to fall off the back.
Well, it was kind of positioned a little bit wrong on his shoulder. So it was really upright there. And he just couldn't hold the balance like that.
A brutal performance nonetheless. Sigfús managing 3 stones in 34 seconds. Now looking at the other 3 men that managed 3 stones, that was the fastest to the 3rd stone, which puts him 3rd overall. Thank you very much, Killy. Now, interestingly, with the last stone event we saw, he was the fastest man to do 2 stones. So what he does efficiently, and he does well, if not quite the full set that he'd have liked necessarily. But Sigfús, a solid performance that will keep him very much in the mix for this one.
Well, he had that last one up there. He just could not find the right balance with it. It's kind of heartbreaking when you see that happen. It's like, especially for the athlete, because you lifted it, but you quite didn't finish it.
Yeah, and it has to be finished. And the referees, they give no quarter whatsoever here. That's Vilius up next, Lithuania's finest. Now he's currently in joint 5th place, sharing that 5th place with Pavlo Kordiaka, who had a brilliant performance. So Vilius knows to
Really
stay in that.
explosive.
He really is, isn't he? Now he did the same thing with the natural stones and then struggled on the 3rd one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I threw that one up.
He's not even putting his hand out, he's putting it down. That says a lot, like a military man. Oh, he's got it. That was fast to 3.
Yeah.
That was fast to 3.
Now he needs this one.
Is it as fast as Pavlo? I'm not sure, but I know it's fast. Oh, that's uncomfortable on the head. That's uncomfortable. My goodness gracious. He needs to... Chiropractors, look away. Fair play.
Just managed to hold it
Villiers.
long enough.
That man has a neck like Mike Tyson. Wow.
That, you know, you see, he gave himself time. He used the time to try to find that sweet spot that he could hold that for balance just long enough.
The bit you couldn't see is Villiers afterwards was rubbing the side of his head in some discomfort. He managed it in 47 seconds. Crucially, that puts him 1 second faster than Pavlo Kordiaka, which means he's second overall. So currently the top three is Shane Flowers in 37 seconds, Villiers in 47 and Pavlo in 48 seconds. Thank you, Killy. This is close, 1 second separating, which means, Maggie, the pain was worth it in the neck.
Oh, this is great. Now we see the Tenerife Viking probably going into the cold water.
Go on, Matt. He said he doesn't have shorts. He's just going in with lycra. That's a sight to behold. As is a man who loves stone
The
lifting.
water over there that runs hot water into that, so it's not as cold if you go further out.
Noted. I don't know if I've got the bottle to even go in that. He's given the thumb. He's getting the picture for the
You're
ground.
going to be going into that one later on, right?
I'm going to run in for seconds and then straight into the geothermal water. I'm not built for the cold. But Pádraig Dwyer has put himself very much in touch of the lead. He currently shares the lead with Shane Flowers overall. But Shane, after that phenomenal effort, will take some beating now. Par, as Maggie pointed out, loves stone lifting.
Oh, nice.
Now that was fast. Now Par needs a fast performance here.
Oh, he's looking good.
I said earlier on, he's my dark horse to sit on the podium or stand on the podium at the end of the 3 days. Careful, Par.
Oh, he almost lost it behind himself there. Managed to get a control of it.
Go on, Par. Big stone here. 145 kilos.
He did a fast 3.
Can he get this fourth one? So 48 seconds. No, he hasn't hurt himself. Has he hurt himself? He looks like he's definitely wincing. Possibly his knee, possibly his foot. He's struggled with injuries over the years. He actually broke one of the bones in his feet and still turned up to World's Strongest Man. In fact, he still decided to take part in... Oh, hang on.
He's
Up
still
to
trying to find
oh,
it.
go on, Par. Hopefully, that isn't an injury that's too bad. He is limping, though. He's a very, very hard man. A brilliant 3 stone effort. Well, Par would have loved a performance to get all 4 stones. I mean, check this out, Maggie. To 3 stones, 22 seconds. Thank you, Killy. 22 seconds. So he actually had about 15 seconds to have got inside the top 3 on that one. Wasn't to be, and you can't see off camera, he is now limping quite heavily. So I hope that doesn't mean it's the end of his competition, because he's performed so well up to this point.
No, he's a person that doesn't give up easily. So it's like a lion. Lion gets hurt a little bit, licks his wounds, and come back. And he's the Limerick Lion, isn't he?
Oh, very nice, Maggie. Very nice. And talking about lions, this man is the heart of a lion. Look at this man. He could not be any more motivated. The reigning Magnusson Classic Strongman Champion 2022. He wants this big
this
time.
one's playing a tricks on him, but he's lapped it now. There you go.
Yes, get that hand free. Yes, he's got it. Can he get the 4th one? Slightly held up by that 3rd stone. He wants this 4th stone. He's actually made the 4th stone look easier than the 3rd. Oh my goodness. He is just brute
He is a
forcing.
warrior.
He is a warrior. Oh, well done. That looked personal at the end, the way he looked at it. It is personal for Rongo. Yes, it is. Superb. Yes.
That was good.
That was good. How fast was it? I mean, I'll tell you what, he's gonna, I don't want to have to tell him the result here. He did it in 48.26 seconds. Pavlo did it in 48.17.
Wow.
9/100 slower than Pavlo to the fourth stone. So we now have 5 men have completed 4 stones. That puts him the slowest of the men to complete the 4 stones, but currently means he's in 5th place with Sean Gillen, who loves a stone to go. Thank you, Killy. So mid-table, and I'll tell you what, that says everything. You have to work that hard to be mid-table. Such is the quality of the field of this event. Now we have Sean Gillen, who's Irish, currently by way of Australia. Said it's his first time lifting natural stones. And my goodness, that was just filthy. Almost.
Really?
That is just. Are you having a laugh? This guy. Now, if he the same thing. Oh wow, wow! This guy. Oh,
Unlucky
the
there.
first man to unfortunately lose it round the back. But even then, he's picking this up with reckless abandon. Just brute force strength here.
And he got it.
Now he will be tired after this.
Yeah.
Will he have enough left in this fourth stone?
That took some energy. Will he have enough energy to do the 4th one? That's the question now.
Go on, Sean.
But he's giving it a go.
Oh my goodness. He whips it up so well. I think he's still got this. Oh,
Yeah.
it's the opposite of efficient, but it was working for the man. He's calling it there.
Yeah.
Too much was taken out on that 3rd stone.
I think he had that last one up there. It just running out of energy.
To that point, that was so fast. The big question will be, how fast was he to the 3rd stone? Well, we can find out the actual entire scores on the doors there. And for what it's worth, Sean managed that one 36 seconds to the 3rd stone. Now, to give you the actual event points before the overall, so the winner of that event was Shane Flowers. 38 seconds he managed that in. Then, another valiant performance by Tristan Hoth, managing 4 stones in 44 seconds. Then comes the painful part, because Vilius, Pavlo and Rongo, the other 3 men who managed 4 stones, had only 1 second separating them. Vilius in 47, Pavlo in 48.17, and Rongo Keane in 48.26. Parr, hopefully he's not too injured, was the fastest of the 5 men who managed 3 stones, doing so in 22 seconds. And then Matt Riddle managing the 2 stones props the field up at the bottom there, meaning there's now an overall performance led. Well, in fact, let's go from the top. Shane Flowers, 29 points. Now 4 points is his lead. 2nd and 3rd, share points, 25 each. That's Tristan Hoth and Vilius Vakusis. And then we have, sharing 24 points, 3 men of Pavlo, Rongo and Parr. I mean, in terms of that top 6, Maggie, this really is ridiculous. So for context, Shane leads by 4 points, and then we have 5 men separated by 1 point. 5 men separated by what? This is ridiculous.
It's been great. Nobody's really run away with anything yet. Nobody's. We had different winners, and it's a tough field. It's a tough field. You can a little mistake, a little slip up, like in the stones or whatever, cost you points.
Let's bring Shane in now. Shane, can you come over here? Because that there was absolutely fantastic. let's talk first of all about that event there. For a man who isn't from Iceland, who doesn't do a lot of natural stones, mate, that was impressive.
Yeah, so I've been training it, but obviously not on natural stones. So I've been doing things like Atlas stones, sandbags. Obviously, it's not the same, but yeah, I think it transferred over quite nicely. So I'm quite happy with it.
I mean, let's put this into context. So that was in 38 seconds, let's call it. You were 6.5 seconds faster than the next best person, who was Tristan, who himself was 3 seconds faster than the next best person. So, mate, you really did put on a special performance there.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm very happy with it, yeah. I can't be disappointed. Good first day. Body's feeling good, so on to day 2.
So let's talk, before we talk about day 2, ending day 1, 3 events. So check this out. So 2nd to 6th are separated by 1 point, and you're leading overall by 4 points. You must be delighted with that.
Yeah, I'm really happy. I probably couldn't have expected it to go much better. I mean, I lost maybe a couple of points on the stone press, but it literally was my first ever time lifting a stone and pressing it. So I'm quite happy. Obviously, day 2, again, pretty good events for me, but there's some awesome guys here, so I expect the points just to get messed around a little bit. But if I've got a 4-point lead or whatever it is.
Yeah, let's have a look. Let's have a look here. Gloves don't work well on iPads, unfortunately. Yeah, 4-point lead.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, can't really expect much more than that, so I'm really happy with that.
So between now and tomorrow, what will you do?
Me and Pablo are going to go skinny dipping now. And then just going to eat loads of food, relax, have fun with the boys, and then get a good night's sleep and get ready for day 2.
Mate, it was a superb performance. Absolutely massive congratulations. Fist bump.
Thank you, mate.
Well done, sir, and we'll see you tomorrow. As for us here, let's see if we can chat to a few of the other lads. In fact, let's have a chat with big Rongo over here. Rongo, come on over, my friend. He's now enjoying himself in the water. Rongo, you are now 2nd to 6th, separated by 1 point. You are inside that top 6, so you're currently on 24 points overall, ostensibly joint 2nd.
Wow. All right. Bit of work to do. Some things didn't go as planned today, but that's competition. For everyone watching, it's one thing to do the events, but I'm telling you, it's freezing here. There's people everywhere. The stones don't listen. And man, what a day. What a day of day 1.
You know, you were quite unlucky with that last event there, stone to shoulder, because you were 1 of 5 to get it to complete the 4 stones,
yeah.
But you missed out. You were slower by 0.2 of a second.
Yeah, I thought I had the third stone. I thought I had it in the right position, and when I grabbed it, it was like a cheese grater, and it just ripped my arms off. Now, guys, you don't know this, but Magnus doesn't allow tacky at all on anything. So, for all of you saying, "Oh, that's not very heavy," we're lifting these with just chalk, and they're slippery. This is a strongman comp like no other. We're in the bloody wilderness here, and we're having to adapt to the situation. So, man, day 1 done. All the boys are a bit battered and bruised. They've got these amazing tropical bars behind us. And we're going to use those, mingle in with everyone that's come down to support us. It's been pretty cool, man.
And Iceland has a lot of sites. I'm going to suggest that some of the locals behind us here have never seen a site like that we're currently seeing here.
Well, they're all asking me if I'm Maui from Moana, and I'm just saying you're welcome. So it's good, man.
Nice.
There we go.
Do you know the rap, though?
I do.
Kid, honestly, I can go on and on.
I can explain every natural phenomenon.
The time, the grass, the ground.
Oh, that was Maui just messing around.
Akira O'Neill.
I buried his gut.
Started a tree.
Now you got coconut.
What's the lesson?
What is the takeaway?
There was a now.
Well, he's on a breakaway.
And the tapestry here on my skin.
It's a map of the victory I win.
Look where I win.
Now everything happened.
Look at me, mini me.
You heard it first shot.
Unbelievable, by the way, that just happened. There'll be no more rapping, but we are going to speak to this man here. So, what a performance that was.
Thank you, man. Thank you. It's probably one of my best events when it comes to natural stones.
Yes.
Stone to shoulder, carrying them, so I'm not super surprised, actually.
Well, let's take a look at the scores on the doors here. They've got a little bit of water here, courtesy of Paro Dwyer.
Asshole. I'm in 3rd place currently.
Exactly.
Yeah, sharing 2nd place with Tristan.
It's, well, only 1 point separating 2nd to 6th. Vilius, in terms of, say, seeing your overhead, it was very interesting because with the natural stones, your first 2 stones, the fastest overhead we saw move. And then all of a sudden, the power seemed to go. Wasn't the case with stone to shoulder.
I think when it comes to pressing the stones, I just lost the balance and I couldn't hit the balance correctly. It was just throwing me off, you know, and I was just lacking some of oxygen and I just didn't have it in me anymore, to be honest. And but stone to shoulder, I kind of knew what I had to do. go very fast on first 3 stones,
Yes.
then compose myself and hit the 4th one, and you saw the finishing lift was really hard. My head was just squeezing, my ear was squeezing, but I had to get the lift, so
Were you consciously having to press against it to make it balance?
yeah, a little bit. So it was like using my head at the same time to hold the stone.
Well, even Theodore, when you were doing that, everyone went, wow, because they understand how uncomfortable that was. Will it be bruised in the morning?
Yeah, definitely, but maybe people are gonna mistake me for a wrestler now because I'm gonna have the ears,
Cauliflower.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Villiers, brilliant performance. We'll see you tomorrow, right very much in the mix. We're going to speak to a few of the guys
you so
here.
much.
Thank you, Villiers. Let's speak to Theodore here very quickly. Theodore, yeah, absolutely, sir. We possibly the most wounded man here.
Possibly.
How bad was what happened with the natural stones? It fell at, can we see?
Yeah, of course.
Look, this is unbelievable, by the way. Look at this here. That there, if you look up strongman in the dictionary, you will see a picture like that there.
But it's not this that's been bothering me, it's more my finger. There's like a nubbin hanging off my finger that was bleeding all over the place. And so that was more disturbing me. But I just before the event, I decided I'm not going to think about it,
Okay.
Viking. No, I'm just kidding. But I decided not to think about it, go in. But yeah. For some reason, I didn't set up the 4th stone. I kind of that was my mistake. I thought I'm not gonna get it. I'm not good enough to get the 4th stone. But then the 3 were so almost easy, and I was just like,
Okay.
So it was a bit of a mistake not setting up the 4th stone properly. I know I should have.
Could you feel the finger when you were lifting?
No, not at all. No. There's too much adrenaline, I think, going on, and too much focus on something else to be able to feel anything else.
And very soon you'll be feeling the warm water.
Yeah. I don't know with everything. I think I'm just gonna go have a meal, a couple of meals, maybe even 3 meals.
You're a big man, big food.
Yeah. Get some nutrition in for tomorrow. Head off to Húsavík, the location for tomorrow, and rest and recover.
And just finally, have you enjoyed it so far?
Yeah, it's great being here. I feel honored to be able to participate here. It's being on an international level competition. I'm I hope I get more opportunities in the future to do more things like this, and
Absolutely. Well, 2 more days to go. Well done for today. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you, Theodore.
Right.
We're going to speak to a few of the guys here. Let's bring in a man who performed unbelievably well. Come on in, sir. Let's have a chat here. Let's work. Would you mind pressing cancel on the iPads here, just so we can see where you are? Where are you sat?
There you go.
Are you happy with that performance?
Very, very happy with my performance, yeah.
Stand out for today? For you, in terms of your own performance?
Yeah, honestly, coming in, I didn't have a lot of expectations. I didn't know where I kind of fit in the line, so I'm really happy to be sitting tied for 2nd right now after day 1.
It is crazy how close it is. Can we give a shout out to your gym, by the way?
Yeah.
Because you've got a brand new gym that you've opened with your partner. Your partner is doing all the hard work. You're here competing. What's your partner's name?
Larry McEwen.
And what's the gym called?
Gym is United Strength and Power
And it's where?
in Edmonton, Alberta.
And as a quick advert, to anyone who's in that area, or maybe visiting that area, why should they come to your gym?
We're the only gym in Edmonton right now that is actually set up for strength athletes. So strongman, powerlifting, weightlifting, we have it all. We have every specialty bar you can want and need, and we're going to have more too. So it's a place to train.
And what's been your trick? Because today, it's not exactly bench press. It's not exactly shoulder press with dumbbells. It's natural stones. You're having to adapt. It's one thing if you're Icelandic. It's another thing if you're Canadian. But you seem to just thrive.
Yeah, I mean, we got to play with the different implements all the time, and we don't always have what we need to train with, but we make do. And I mean, adding plates onto sandbags and duct taping things together, you're making things work. So I'm happy it worked today, and the stones were nice and pretty easy to press or to shoulder, so I was happy with that.
You made it look easy. Joint second so far with 5 other guys. Good luck for tomorrow, and we'll see you then.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Tristan. Now we're going to see if we can possibly grab a word with some of the other guys, because it'd be very good to speak to. We've got Shane Flowers we've spoken to, Tristan, we've spoken to Villiers, we've actually spoken to the top 5. Pavlo, maybe we'll speak to tomorrow to find out how he's faring. I mean, he is a picture, an absolute picture of health there. He basically could be on the cover of Men's Health, but yet he's apparently a strongman. In fact, he looks like he wants to chill out, so we'll let him stay in the geothermal water. Or in fact, Pavlo, I'm just going to shout. We'll ask the camera just to turn over here. Pav, could we have a quick chat? He's such a kind man. And look at this here. we need a song going, something like Mr. Loverman, Shabba. Look at this man here. Pav, how are you, sir?
I'm preparing to first event. Yeah, swimming in the pool.
It was a good day for you, a challenging day?
It's challenging because it's not the best event for me, except stone press. I'm not a good presser. I don't know what happened because in warm-up I did all stones. It was not heavy. It's a bit tricky with the stones because if you change your grip, you lose your balance. And
When say, how does it compare to a log? Because a log, you can drive with your legs. Couldn't do that with natural pressing.
you couldn't do it because it's difficult to hold the stones. It's difficult to pick it up to the shoulder, and if you change your grip a little, you lose your balance, and you can even press, not push press or use a leg drive.
So very, very difficult.
Yeah, it's maybe it looks simple, but it isn't. Obviously, it's not so simple how it looks.
You have to say, look the freshest out of all the guys. You look relaxed, comfortable, easy.
You know, it's competition, and the main things what I have to do from competition is have fun, because I like what I do. It's like not like job. It's like lovely things to do.
Pavlo, thank you very much for your time. Sleep well tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you. So the way it's going to work is that's 3 events done. They'll be joined obviously back by Maggie. Magnus, so tomorrow we're not here. Where do we go to next?
We go to Húsafell. We actually go to Húsafell later today. We'll spend the night there. So boys will be fresh tomorrow morning. Outside Húsafell, Hotel Húsafell, we'll do the Mjölnis forward hold. If you know, Mjölnir is
Absolutely, absolutely.
the hammer of Thor.
Yes, exactly.
Then we'll have a little break, and 1:30 we'll start with the Húsafell stone, pick up and walk around the sheep's carol, the ritual way and the only way to do the Húsafell stone. You know, you gotta do it like the legend did it.
Right.
And we'll end up with the stone farmers walk around the same sheep's carol. And I'm looking forward to see, I'm looking forward to see a battle between Pavlo and Willius on that Húsafell stone. Now, mind you, some other guys might go in that mix, but Willius holds the record, which was about 86 meters or something.
Okay.
So it's going to be really interesting. But to wrap up the day, I couldn't be happier with the day. It went great. Event worked out great. The weights used worked out great as well. Oh, the athletes, great performances. No injuries. Well, at least nobody's out of the contest. They might be bruised a little bit.
Yeah.
But they're still fighting.
And just in terms of the Húsafell, we see in Strongman the Húsafell stone carry, but it's not the Icelandic stone. We are going to the home of where the event originally began. It's a historic day tomorrow.
Well, that's a historic stone, and it's there. People come all over the world to lift and try to carry that stone, and you know, it's a manhood stone. If you can get a run revolution, you're a man.
Real man. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be a real man, Maggie. I'm not going to be a real man. So as for us here, very shortly, we'll be getting in a bus, heading off to Húsafell, and then it all starts tomorrow. What time do we start again tomorrow for on air?
11 tomorrow morning, and then at 1:30.
So 11 a.m. to mark your cards for tomorrow. You can watch it on the magnusclassic.com or indeed on the Rogue YouTube channel. It's not to be missed. Shane Flowers currently leads proceedings after 3 events by 4 points, and then 2nd to 6th are separated by just 1 point. It couldn't be any closer. It couldn't be any more open. 6 events to go. 3 will be decided tomorrow. And I tell you what, if today isn't any reason to watch, I don't know what is. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m.
Stay strong.